Hey, today I'm going to talk about the single plane swing and why you shouldn't try it. So there's no better feeling knowing that when you wake up in the morning to go play golf, so that you're going to play well. There's no better feeling of hitting good golf shots down the fairway. Years ago, I was frustrated because I lost that. I was confused, I was frustrated, and then I met Mo Norman and learned the single plane swing. And so now I wake up every day and I know I'm going to hit it well, I know I'm going to play well, I know I'm going to have fun. So my mission today is to help as many people as possible wake up every day feeling good that they're going to go out there and play great because of the single plane swing. Hey, welcome to the channel today. Listen, there's a conversation that we have inside of Graves Golf that I want to share with you today. Now, if you're not familiar with Graves Golf is a teaching and coaching company. And I don't even like to talk about it being a teaching company. And let me talk about what I want to discuss today about the single plane swing in the sense of, I don't want you to try the single plane swing. I want you to do the single plane swing. And that's a conversation we often have inside of our company because the people who try things don't understand them. And they will see an aspect of a swing and think that there's a tip to it. And today's discussion really needs to be not about trying a single plane swing, but rather understanding that every single piece of it, which I call a sum of its own parts, every single piece of it relates to the next. So you have to get it all as a methodology because it all relates to each other. And this is not something that you're gonna, wow, you gotta change your whole swing. If you understand what we're doing here inside the single plane swing, every piece of the movement of a single plane swing, every element of it relates to the next. It simplifies the next. So you can't just try a part of the swing. You have to try the entire swing because it all goes together. It all works together. Now, I'll give you a quick example of that. And I may have done this recently in a video, but let's just talk address position for example. What you see in my address is my alignment of my lead arm, but you can only see that alignment if I have the tilt of the body. If I have the tilt of the body, you see my trail hand comes from underneath. This is in a non-rotational position. So you got my tilt of the body, the lead arm lined up, the back of the hand to the target, and the trail hand coming from underneath in a skipping the rock position. Notice the entire address position, all of the positions of my body, each part of that relates because the tilt of my body allows the arm to line up. The tilt of my body allows my hand to be in a non-rotational position. And then you'll see that that's very similar to where I'm going to be at impact. So I'm putting my body, my hands, my tilt, everything in a very advantageous place to get to impact. That's just the beginning of it. So the next thing you see is from this position, when I turn away, you see the club naturally moves to the inside. It naturally moves to the inside. I'm not forcing it onto some plane. I'm not forcing it onto some angle. Because it's in a relationship aligned with my arm and shoulder, it's going to move away automatically into that position, and then my arm is going to fold up. So the club goes on to swing plane. That's a natural moving and naturally occurring thing. How did that occur though? And it occurred from proper movement, proper address, proper relationship, proper movement, hands at the top. Notice I'm still in my tilt, bracing around the leg. So now I'm in a leverage position. Now I'm going to transition, and then I'm going to turn and return the club to the impact plane. My point to this conversation is, you can't just take a piece of that, the lead hand grip, trying to lift the club up, trying to keep your foot down, and we can talk about that. You can't just take a piece of that and say, I'm doing the single plane swing. You have to get it all correct. The other thing too, you're talking about the trail foot. The trail foot is on the ground because you're allowing the pelvis to rotate but reach a limitation. So you want rotation, of course, and you want the lead knee flexed, but the foot is creating a limit. So now you can see, but here's the thing. You're not going to be able to get the knee flexed and foot down if you didn't get the proper spacing at address. So if you're a guy who goes, well, I'm going to try to keep my foot down from a conventional address position, you're not going to be able to do it. And here's what I really want you to think about. I don't want you to be saying, hey, the single plane swing didn't work for me. Because this is a conversation I have inside of my company. You're either doing the swing and you're getting all these pieces correct and getting them right, because the address relates to the backswing relates to transition downswing, and we always work in the proper order. That's why I'm not a teaching company, we're a coaching company. We're coaching people how to learn the absolute best way to start and impact to a golf ball. We're not just giving you tips out there to see if you can figure it out. So our job as coaches is to work with you to get it. A lot of times it's breaking the habits of your conventional swing or things you've learned before. And I want to say this, that there's absolute measurement and quantifiable things we do. We're not just telling you to do things. We want, 16 degrees of side bend in your address. The leverage position at the top, we want to brace against the trail leg. We want about 80 degrees of rotation at the top. As we come down, we want about 30 degrees of rotation of torso and pelvis at impact with the knee flex and foot down. So we're quantifying everything we do, because we know that when you hit these positions, you can get the club moving with a lot of speed and in the correct positions throughout the swing motion. So again, if you're saying, I'm going to try this swing, I would ask you, don't try it, do it, learn every piece of it, and learn it in the correct way. That's what we do as a coaching company. So again, from address, hitting your nice single plane address position, and then making sure that you're in that address. It's going to make it easier to get to the impact, moment of impact. How can you simplify your ability to go from address to impact? So you got to start at address. Everything has to work together: lead hand, lead arm, trail arm, body tilt, body position. Naturally moves to the inside. And my foot stays down because that's a natural position. If I was too close, I'm going to stand up. One of the things that I've been working on is how the lead hand reaches range of motion position. Lead hand is such an important part, where it starts, where it hits the top, where it impacts. So look, if you really want to do the single plane swing, you got to get some coaching, because I want you to get it completely correct. In the description below, you'll find all the information about how, no matter where you live in the world, we can coach you the single plane swing. Check the description below, and I'll see you in the next video.